guys to another exciting episode of Totally Random. Is your girl A. I'm tired of doing that thing, okay? So my name is Ada, if you don't already know by this point, whatever. But this is Totally Random, as we're doing Bible. I hope it is episode, what are we on now? 4? Yes, it's episode 4 of my latest series on YouTube. If you haven't caught all the other ones, just head back there before you can head here, because it kind of follows the sequence. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. So we are at the penultimate, in Jesus' name that's the correct English, because I promise you guys I can speak English, but on some days it just goes But we're on the penultimate stage, and this is the stage after becoming, and I would like to call this stage the awakening. You are 22 to 24. You no longer have an excuse. You cannot say, oh, I didn't know, oh, I didn't knew. I mean, there are certain things you're not going to know about, but at this stage, you're woke. You know that certain things are right, certain things are wrong. Now, unfortunately, at this stage is also the time where a lot of women see that it is wrong, but either from stupidity, societal pressure, or wanting to feel among, you swallow a lot of nonsense because you feel like, oh, where am I going to go? He's nice to me, and then the worst part, oh, he has money. I mean, broke boys don't deserve them. I know that's right. You know, we're missing them. I'm just free and paraphrasing. But 20 to 24, you're definitely most probably done with university now, done with NYC, maybe first year of your job. You started earning small cash doila. You started getting bills. If you're like me, I moved into my father's house, out of my father's house in stage 2 as 20. So I'm quite different from the rest of you, but you started to have bills you can actually now afford to pay because you probably have a job. But then again, you are in Lagos, Nigeria, so it's very possible that you are still searching. But at this stage, you are now a full-blown adult. You have passed 18, that is American age. You've passed 21, that is Nigerian age. You can vote, meaning you can take, credible, sensible decisions. So this is the awakening stage. You're woke, either from people's experiences, your experiences, Twitter, Instagram, social media. You know what's going on. You know things. You know how everything, should be going. Now, the first lesson I learned from this age bracket is your heart will break. This is really the age where you are finally equipped enough to be in a serious full-blown relationship, both from a financial point of view, from a physical point of view, even emotional intelligence. You're ready. You are now grown up. You can have a full relationship with the ups and its downs. You can have a realistic relationship. Remember, the first relationship when you're 16, 17, it's like you're in a bubble. It's a fantasy. It's not really real. Now you can actively say, okay, I earn 500K, this man earns 700K. How do we construct a home? You have facts to back up the reality that you're imagining. And so that means you trust a lot more, you give a lot more, you trust a lot more is really the word I'm looking for. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there are carrying baggage that you personally don't deserve to deal with, but they're not going to tell you they're carrying that baggage. So you guys are going to get into a relationship and their mental scoliosis will do. This is really the age where a lot of girls are either super duper duper happy in their relationships, or they are having identity crisis because they're not in a relationship. And unfortunately, we're from Africa, where a lot of times at this age, if you are not already in a serious relationship, that's auntie that her children are not married and they are 50 is already starting to ask you, where's your boyfriend? You're not going to bring a boy home. This is the age or stage where when one older cousin is getting married, it is almost the permission to bring somebody is unspoken, but it's there. You can bring somebody to the wedding, a partner or whatnot. And all these things, have their different pressures and whatnot. But the first lesson is you will most likely get your first proper breakfast service, as in full buffet, all option, cutlery aside, big plates, small plates, plates for omelette. They will give you everything. I'm talking Oriental style buffet. And this is also the period where a lot of your friends are gonna be in relationships. A lot of them are gonna be, starting to get engaged. They're gonna have this person just had a baby. That person. But those are usually the ones who start a bit early. So some level of pressure is gonna come, which will bring me to lesson number 2. Guide your space. A lot of 22 to 24-year-olds right now are going through what I would just call societal depression. You're seeing so much happening, or you are seeing so much seemingly happen for other people, both in relationships, in work life, in family life, that you feel like your own life is now less interesting, less important, because you feel like, oh, this person is doing this, person is doing that. So guard your space. Go back to those older ladies that I said you should establish friendships with. Let them try and help to guide you, talk to you. This is also the time where I've discovered, when I was at that age, I got the closest to my mom. My mom is literally, I don't have any secrets from my mother like this, half like this I don't even have. Literally. Before this video I shot the video, she already called me to talk about this video. So this is when you need to be very, very conscious of who and what you let into your space. This is the age at where you should be awake enough. You should start to learn about yourself. I made the mistake of, in this age bracket, knowing what I wanted, but always settling for less than that. Oh, this is the stage where a lot of us are going through. I don't really want commitment. Let's see how it goes. It will not be well with you, dear. Let me just tell you, you should be at the point at this stage, or starting to, or that's why I'm making this video. Between 22 and 24, you should know that, okay, do I want vibes and inshallah, or do I want a relationship? Don't let yourself be clouded by the guy's money, his looks, the D game, all of that. Don't let all of that blind you to now settling for what you don't want, because trust me, you will settle and he will still misbehave. Imagine getting dumped by an ugly guy. Jesus, I agree to date you and you're moving mad. You should kiss my feet. Am I a joke to you? Sorry, a little flashback of that. Anyway, what I'm saying is, this is a stage where you should start to learn yourself. Are you somebody whose love language is this? Is your love language not that? Are you the type that wants 5 calls a day? Are you the type that wants 10 calls a day? And for crying out loud, ladies, don't settle for less. That is lesson number 3. Because trust me, if you start to settle for less between this age, it is a cycle that you will find so hard to break, because you will not even know how to function in a proper relationship, because you're so used to F boys and G boys and W boys and all the letter boys, that when a real man actually now comes at you or comes to you, you don't know how to act because you're used to idiots. So this lesson number 3 is, do not ever settle. It's better to be single and wait for the person who matches you on every level than to just be increasing your body count for no reason, quite frankly. Now, I'm not saying you can't be attracted to somebody and, okay, I'm attracted, I'm attracted. Hit it once, hit it twice, hit it 3 times. If I hit it 1 time, they're like, if I, no, I'm safe, finish safe, finish safe. Do you see how the song ended? It is not safe. There are so many STD, STI, SWTs in Lagos. Everybody's moving mad. This age also is the age where your libido is high. You have the highest amount of freedom. You're probably already living by yourself. You're living your best life. But let me tell you something. The more you have those little pockets of relations and relationships and situationships and what's the other one? Friends with benefits. The more of your energy is depleting. Now imagine this. You're single. You don't have anybody stressing you. You don't have anybody consuming your time. You can dedicate 12 good hours of the day to one goal you want to achieve. Compare that to, oh, you have to have dinner with your boyfriend 3 times a week. Your boyfriend is having a bad day, so by extension, it applies to you. Oh, your boyfriend just broke up with you. That is already 1 week of just floating through the air because you feel like your life is about to crumble. I'm not advocating or saying that love can't be found at this stage, but I'm saying if you know what you want and for some reason you're not finding it, first of all, it's not the end of the world. You will find it when it is time for you to find it. Instead of now, because you don't find it, you're trying to settle for the next best thing, or you're going for the complete opposite of what it is you would normally take. My darling, close your leg, close your heart, and open your mind and go and look for money. Had I known this thing earlier, some mistakes would not have been made in my life. I would have just done jump and pass. But again, this is also the time where you're free. Trips. Take girl trips. They don't have to be outside Nigeria, and you don't have to pay for by sugar that if you save money from January. I'm sure that by June, July, you'll be able to travel somewhere. Take trips, explore. Even though you may say you have what it is you want in a man, especially I think a lot of ladies struggle with, oh, I want a man that looks like this. Sometimes look outside the box. I'm not saying don't have your basic principles, but sometimes with things like maybe his looks or where he lives or what kind of car he drives, you can't be flexible. Don't be sorry if it's not your best. If how many let me just share my daily man, because some of you that are watching this thing, they already have their boyfriend, so you can't really. But don't be too rigid on certain things you can be flexible about, in the spirit of, oh, he's not my type, he's not this. Sometimes give it a chance. Do you get what I mean? But obviously with sense. If he is completely different from what you know you want, if he doesn't take any box at all, I don't think you should be giving him a chance to get into your panties, into your mind, into your heart. But if he takes certain boxes that doesn't take the others, 1 or 2 dates, 3 dates, you don't know, he might grow on you. A lot of women in this stage are so fixated on, boyfriend, I must have one, that they are willing to do whatever, be with whoever, without, checking what their soul or their mind or their, heart really wants. So this is the awakening stage, 22 to 24. You are now a full-blown human being. You're responsible for your actions, you're responsible for your decisions, you're responsible for your choices. So you have to be really careful with them. So recap real quick. I know this episode was a bit heavy, it's not as light, but sometimes you need heavy to talk some sense to yourself. First rule, first lesson, don't ever settle. If you know it's not for you, somebody like me, I know I can't settle for short people. No offense. It's just not my thing. And I don't want a situation where I'm with a guy who doesn't fit that profile, and then I walk into a club and I see a guy that fits that profile. I'm gonna wanna flirt, and that's gonna make me a bad person. So don't start settle. So don't settle. JK, I'm joking, you guys also. First lesson is don't settle. Second lesson is your heart will definitely break, and it's gonna take you a while to get over it. It's gonna take you a while to process it. And I will say this: rebounds are not always necessarily the best. Take it from me, I've been a rebound. It still ended in premium tears. Until you are ready, until the other person is ready, I don't think you should do anything than be friends. Maybe talk every day, comfort each other, but don't let your feelings get too involved when you feel like the other person isn't ready. And the third lesson is guide your space. Do not lose yourself. Don't be focused on social media. Don't want to make us all this as if there's none other like thee. That's for Jesus, not for you. Don't lose yourself. Ensure you surround yourself with positive people in this time, because they will make or break who you are as a person. Alright? Make sure your circle tight. Make sure your circle strong. Make sure your circle bullshit proof. Alright? There you have it, guys. 3 lessons for people between 22 and 24. And in the next episode, before you do anything and talk about next episode, go back, subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff. I'll shout out to you guys for all the love and support so far. You're amazing. The next episode is going to be just one age, and that's the age where I'm at. I'll see you in the next episode. Toodles.